Hello viewers, I am Tarang Kumar Boonwal, Assistant Professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. The following video is prepared as per the syllabus and course outline of Maharshi Dayanand University. However, are mostly general topics which cover the working and theoretical aspects of civil engineering. For better understanding and conceptualizing clearly, please do not skip the video and watch till end. We will be discussing about related important questions, feasibility and applications. Let's start the video.
Hello students, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. In this session, we'll continue with the subject design of concrete structures first. And the topic of discussion today would be numericals on moment of inertia and then modification moments. So we'll start with the topic now. Moment of inertia. It is denoted by the letter capital I, also called as angular mass. It is the inertia of a rotating body with respect to its rotation. एक बॉडी का जो भी इनर्शिया है उसके रेस्पेक्ट में जितना वो रोटेशन जिस हिसाब से वो रोटेट कर रहा है. Also, it is a rotating body's resistance to angular acceleration or deceleration equal to the product of the mass and the square of the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. इसके अलावा ये इस तरीके से डिफाइन किया जाता है कि एक रोटेटिंग बॉडी का एंगुलर एक्सेलरेशन या फिर डिसेलरेशन के लिए रेजिस्टेंस. एग्जांपल आप इमेजिन कर लीजिए कि एक पेंसिल है, एक पेंसिल के टॉप पे आपने एक धागा बांधा और उससे एक बॉब अटैच कर दिया. अब आप उसको घुमा रहे हैं. या फिर दूसरा एग्जांपल ऐसा भी ले सकते हैं जैसे अक्सर लोग करते हैं, ये फिजेट है कि आपने हाथ में एक चाबी लेते हैं ना, उंगली में चाबी डाली और उसको घुमाया, तो वो जो एक एंगुलर एक्सेलरेशन और डिसेलरेशन की सिचुएशन क्रिएट हो गई. तो जो इस एक्सेलरेशन और डिसेलरेशन को रेजिस्ट कर रही है वो बॉडी अपने बाय द वर्च्यू ऑफ इट्स इनर्शिया, दैट इज मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया, एंड इट इज रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय द फॉर्मूला I is equals to mr square, where m is the mass and r is the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. That is the distance of the key from your finger, if we are talking in that terms. So as you can see, it is equal to the product of, here it is multiplied, product of mass and the square of its perpendicular distance from axis of rotation. So we'll move to the numerical. The question says find the moment of inertia with respect to centroidal xx and centroidal yy. So this is our figure. This top dimension is 20, this is 5 centimeters, this is 15 centimeters, this is again 5 centimeters, and this is 30 centimeters. And this is y-axis, this is x-axis. Now what we will do is, we'll give all these boxes an independent name. Say this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. And this is the tentative centroid. Let's say here, here, and here. Now first, we'll find the value of x1, x2, x3, y1, y2, y3. So x1 is from here, from this axis till the center of this box 1. So x1 will be the center of box 1. This value is automatically, because this is 30, this box is 30 centimeter in length. So this from here to here, x1 value will be 15, the half of that. Similarly, because it is on the line of symmetry, so the value of x2 will also be 15 from here till here. It is also 15, as you can see. And eventually x3 is also bound to be 15 from here till here, because it is also at the center. Now coming to y1, y2, and y3. So mind it, y1 y2 and y3, these three are vertical distances, while x1, x2, and x3 were horizontal distances. So y1 is from this bottom fiber to the center of this box, from down to upside, that is vertical distance. So because this hole is 5, so this half would be 2.5. As you can see, y1 is 2.5. Now coming to the center of second box. And we have to take the distance of y2 from here up till here. So this distance sums up to, this total was 15 and its half would be 7.5, and 7.5 added with 5 will give 12.5, as you can see here. And in similar fashion, we'll find out the value of y3, which will be this whole 5 plus 15, that will be 20, and half of this, and this is 5, so its half would be 2.5. So 5 plus 15, that will be 20, and 20 plus 2.5 would be 22.5. So here is the value of y3. Now coming to the value of A1, A2, and A3, area of first box, area of second box, and area of third box. So A1 and A2 would be 30 multiplied by 5, 30 here, and 5 multiplied here, so it will be 150. A2 will be 15 multiplied by 5, that would be 75 centimeter square, and A3 would be 20 multiplied by 15, 20 multiplied by 5, and that would be 100. So you can see here all the values are written as A1, A2, and A3. Now, next what we will do is, we'll find the value of x bar. This is the value of average x, weighted value of x with respect to the area of each box, and it is given by the formula a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3 divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3. And we have already found out the values of a1, a2, and a3, and also x1, x2, and x3. We'll simply substitute the values here. The value of a1 is 150, the value of a2 is 75, and a3 is 100. x1, x2, and x3 both are 15. Sorry, all three are 15. So you can see the expression here, and a1 plus a2 plus a3 is written here. And when we solve this expression, we arrive at a value of 15 centimeter, and this is the value of x bar. This is average of x. Now coming to y bar or y critical, it is again given by similar type of formula, which is a1 plus y1 plus a2 plus y2 plus a3 plus y3, and this whole expression is divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3. Again substituting all the values, here y1 we found out to be 2.5, y2 is 12.5, and y3 is 22.5, and a1 and a2 and a3 will be the same as we did in the case of x critical. The value of y bar comes out to be 10.96 centimeters. So it will lie somewhere here, 10.96. Now we'll use formula. This is moment of inertia along x axis, along the direction x, and using radius of gyration, and this is represented by the formula BD cube upon 12. And in case of YY, it will be represented by dV cube by 12. So we'll see it in the formula again. If it is XX this way, then this is B and this is D. That means BD cube upon 12. And if we are considering this axis, Y axis, then it will be dB cube upon 12. So this will be depth dB cube. Now, first point is finding moment of inertia with respect to centroidal xx. So there is a general formula which is represented by Ixx is equals to Ixx1 plus Ixx2 plus Ixx3. So this will be the independent centroidal moment of inertia for individual boxes. This is for this we'll find out the value of Ixx1, Ixx2, then Ixx3. Ixx1 will be given by the formula I g1x plus a1y square. This is the formula, and we know the value of I g1x is bd cube upon 12. So b here, this is b and this is d. So it automatically comes out to be 30 upon 5 cube, 30 into 5 cube upon 12. So you can see here 30 into 5 cube upon 12 plus a1 value we know, and the value of y alone means y1 minus y bar. This is the difference of centroid of each from the centroid which is overall. Centroid of each box and overall centroid. This is the difference. So the value of y is given by, this is y1 minus y bar. So y1 value is 2.5 and y bar value is 10.96 that we have found out, and it comes out to be 11048.24 centimeter to the power 4. Next, we'll find out the value of Ixx2. It is again represented by the formula, this time Ig2x plus A2y square again. And this time, the value of Igxx would be, I'm sorry, this on this we were here, the value of Ig2x. So the value here would be, for it is for second box. So we'll go to the second box. It is again BD cube upon 12. So in second box, this one, this is B 5 and D is 15. So 5 into 15 cube upon 12. As you can see, 5 into 15 cube upon 12 plus A2 we found out to be 75, and in this case this y square would be y2 minus y bar this time. Y2 minus y bar. The value of y2 is 12.5, which we found out in the second step, and the value here is y bar, which we have just found out. So the value of Ixx2 comes out to be 1584.12 centimeter to the power 4. Again, we'll find the value of Ixx3. It is represented by the same type of formula with different subscripts. Ig3x plus A3y square again. So it is for third box. So we'll move to the third box. It is here. So this is BD cube, 20 into 5 cube upon 12. As you can see, 20 into 5 cube upon 12 plus A3 value is 100. And y square here is y3 minus y bar. Y3 minus y bar. So we arrive at this. And the value comes out to be 13525.5 centimeter to the power 4. Now we have individually found out the value of Xx1, Ixx2 and Ixx3. To find the value of Ixx, we will simply add all these values, this one, and this one. And this way we will find the moment of inertia with respect to centroidal XX. Now moving to moment of inertia with respect to centroidal YY. This will be done in the similar fashion, but with different values and keeping in mind the value of independent moment of inertias. As you can see, it is again represented by the same formula. So first we'll find out the value of IYY1. It is represented by IG1Y plus A1X square this time. Because when we find out with respect to x, y of x, we take the distance from x. So in this case, this is dB cube upon 12 as we read there. So if we go to the section and if we take reference point from here, then this is our base and this is our depth. So 5, because if we see from here, from this point of reference, then this is 5 multiplied by 30 cube, BD cube on 12. As you can see here, 5 into 30 cube divided by 12. Plus A1 is again same. The value of first box is 150. And the value of x2, x square, I'm sorry, would be the same in all the cases here, which is x1 was x1, x2, and x3. Both value were 15. All the three values of 15. And also the value of x bar was 15. So it will be 0. 15 minus 15 would be 0 in this case. So there would be no additional this expression. We can simply find out the value of this, and this is done because when we are doing with centroidal y axis, we can see the line of symmetry is this along centroidal y axis. So there is no radius of gyration in this case. It is contained within. But when we were doing with respect to y axis, then this was the radius of rotation. And here till here was the distance. And the value of IY1 comes out to be 11250 centimeter to the power 4. Similar fashion, we'll find out the value of IYY2, and the expression is given by IG2Y plus A2X square. The value of IG2 would be again dB cube upon 12. So this is for second box. We'll move to the second box. This is second box, and if this is the point of reference, then this is base and this is depth. So it would be 15 multiplied by 5 cube upon 12. So 15 5 cube upon 12 plus A2 is 75, and the value of x bar would again be 0 because this is x2 minus x bar. So it comes out to be 0 automatically, and it is 156.25 centimeter to the power 4. This is the value of IYY. Now coming to the value of IYY3. It is again represented by the formula IG3Y plus A3X square. The value of IG3Y would be for the third box, and we'll move to the third box now. This is the third box. So this value would be B and this would be D. So it would be 5 multiplied by 20 cube upon 12 for the third box. 5 multiplied by 20 cube upon 12 plus area is 100, and again x3 minus x bar would be 0, and this will give the value of 3333.33 centimeter to the power 4. And to find the value of IXX and IYY, we'll simply, for IXX, we'll add this, this, and this. And to find the value of IYY, we'll add this, this, and this. So the value of IXX and IYY will be our desired solution. Now the next topic of discussion would be modification factor. which is governed as per IS 456/2000. It is given in clause 23.2.1, page 37, and also the figure given on page 38, that is figure number 4, is associated with this type of topic only. Supported beam having size of 230 by 400 mm effective depth. The clear length of beam is 4.5 meter. The width of column support is given as 230 mm at both edge of the beam. The beam is subjected to factored uniformly distributed load, which is 36 kilonewton per meter. We have to use M25 and Fe415 grade and determine the reinforcement required. And we also have to do the deflection check. So this is solution as per IS clause 22.2. First, we have to find out the effective span of simply supported beam. What we have to do is, we have to calculate two values, which is clear span plus effective depth divided by 2 plus effective depth divided by 2, that is from both sides. And in second, we'll find center to center distance between the supports, and we will opt the value whichever is less. So the clear span as given in the question is 4500. Effective depth is 400, which will be divided by 2, and from both sides 400 by 2 plus 400 by 2, the value comes out to be 4900 mm, and in second case it is 4500 plus 230 plus 230, so it comes out to be 4730 mm. Therefore we'll adopt the value as 4730 mm, so L effective would be 4.73 meters as per this, and the value of factored load would be 36 kilonewton meter, and this would automatically be ultimate load. As it is given, the value is factored, so this will be considered as it is. Next step would be to find bending moment for simply supported beam, which is given by the formula WL square upon 8. The value of W is 36. Length we have just find out, effective length, and it will be divided by 8. So the value is 100.68 kilonewton meter. Next, we'll find the value of steel, area of steel. And it is given by the formula. Area of steel is given by the formula this. AST is percentage of steel required. This is PT upon 100 multiplied by the area of concrete, that is B into D. So to find the value of PT, we'll use this formula now, which is 50 multiplied by FCK upon Fy, and this whole multiplied by 1 minus under root 1 minus 46 mu upon FCK BD square. The value of mu here is 100.68 into 10 raised to the power 6 Newton mm. The value of small b is 230, and the value of d is 400 square. So solving this, we find that the value of percentage of steel is 8.88%. Using this value to find the area of steel, we'll put the value of PT here, which is 0.88. The value of B and D we also know. So the value comes out to be 818.28 mm square. You can find this value, and this value comes out to be 818.28 mm square. Now, since we know the area of required steel, we'll assume say 20 dia bars. Area of one bar would be pi by 4 d square, which is 314.16 square. Therefore, the number of bars required would be this area divided by area of one bar, which comes out to be 2.3. So on conservative side, we'll consider as 3 bars. The actual AST provided would be 942.47 square as per 20 dia bars. So 3 multiplied by pi by 4 d square. Now again, we'll check for the value of percentage of steel provided, percentage of tensile steel provided, PT provided, which is AST is equals to PT upon 100 into B into D again. So AST is 942.47. PT value we'll find out again to know that how much percentage of steel we have provided, and the value of B and D is this. B is this and D is this, 230 and 400 respectively. So this time the percentage of steel that we have provided is 1.02%. Now our next job is to check for deflection, which is given by the formula this. Span upon effective depth, which the ratio of span and effective depth which we have provided should be less than the ratio of span and effective depth which is basic, that is which is needed. Now to find out the value of span upon effective depth basic, the formula is given by 20 multiplied by modification factor. This is where the role of modification factor comes. So the value of 20, this is a constant for simply supported beam, as you can see it on the screen. And MF is modification factor. Here. Modification factor depends upon the percentage of steel provided and FS, which is steel stress of service loads. FS, the value of modification factor depends upon two factors, that is PT and FS. The value of Fs is given by this formula, which is again in the IS code 456 and table number 4. It is given by 0.58 Fy multiplied by area of cross section of steel required upon area of cross section of steel provided. AST required upon AST provided. So putting all the values in place, 0.58 is the factor. Fe 415 we have to use, so we have put the value of Fy as 415. The area of cross section of steel required was 809.6, and what we have provided is 942.47, and the value of Fs comes out to be 206.76, which is the steel stress of service loads, as you can see here. Now from table 2, the value of Fs and MF, there is a table in the code given. So from the value of Fs, we'll interpolate the value of MF, that is modification factor. So for the value, so for 190, MF is 1.2. For 240, the value of MF is 1. For 206.76, which is somewhere in between, it will be 1.1 approx. This will be the value of modification factor. Therefore, span upon effective depth, which is basic, comes out to be 20 multiplied by 1.1. So we have put the values here in this formula. It is 22 now, and the span upon effective depth which is provided is 4500 upon 400, which was 11.25. And when we compare 11.25 and 22, 11.25 is quite less than 22. Therefore, our design is okay and deflection check is in order. So I hope you guys could understand the questions. And if in case there is any doubt, feel free to mail me at the given email address. And we'll meet in the next lecture. Till then, have a great time. Thank you.
I hope you guys could understand and correlate the topics taught in today's session. If there is any query or subject matter issue, feel free to mail me at the given email ID. Live discussion sessions could also be used for discussion of doubts. Thank you.